Hey, what's up YouTube? Rules for Rebels here, and in today's video we're going to be answering one of the most commonly questions I get asked, which is, can I private label AliExpress products? Now, I think I'm to blame for some of the confusion involving whether you can or cannot private label AliExpress products. I've made some videos where I talk about ordering small quantities from AliExpress in kind of the same video that I talk about private labeling. Now, really what I'm intending to talk about there is if you want to private label, you're typically going to order larger quantities from Alibaba. But if you've never sold a certain product before, you may want to place a smaller order and test the market and make sure these items are going to sell before you go ordering 1,000 pieces from Alibaba. So what I was recommending doing is placing smaller orders on AliExpress, seeing if the product sells on eBay, Amazon, your Shopify store, and if it does, then going to Alibaba for your next order, ordering a larger quantity, private labeling it, and being confident that you can sell it because you're investing a lot more money at that point. So, can you private label AliExpress products? The short answer is no. You may be able to find some sellers who are willing to do it for you, but typically the answer to that is no. The reason for that is because AliExpress is a B2C or business to consumer platform. Alibaba is a B2B or business to business platform. That essentially means AliExpress is retail and Alibaba is wholesale. Alibaba is typically where you're going to want to go to private label. Because they are the manufacturers, whereas AliExpress sellers are typically just resellers. So what does that mean? An AliExpress seller is typically going to be somebody who goes to the factory, or they probably live in China, but they go to the factory and they say, okay, I want to buy 1,000 of your phone chargers. And then they resell them on AliExpress the same way that you or I might buy products wholesale and resell them on eBay or Amazon. With Alibaba, on the other hand, you're dealing with the manufacturer, the person who makes the product. So they don't have phone cases sitting around their warehouse. They're going to custom make phone cases just for you. And that's why you're allowed to label your products, and that's why you're allowed to put your brand on products. I'm going to show you guys two quick examples of like private labeling and minor customization of products. So we're looking at Cree flashlights. These particular Cree flashlights have an orange button on them, right? And it's called Ultrafire. So this is a private label brand called Ultrafire, and they have an orange button. This particular seller calls his iLock or Ilake, and he has a green button. So because these items aren't, basically the factory just has raw parts, the metal sleeves and everything sitting around the warehouse. When iLock contacted the Alibaba seller to say, hey, I want you to make flashlights for me, he said, hey, I want 500 flashlights. Everyone else has an orange button on theirs. Could you make mine green? And also, could you print my brand on the side? And because the products weren't made yet, that's why they're allowed to private label those products. One other thing to keep in mind when we're talking about AliExpress or Alibaba, a lot of times I hear people talk about them as an entity, as if they were a Walmart or something like that. AliExpress and Alibaba are simply a platform. AliExpress is a platform where thousands or even tens of thousands of sellers sell their goods on there. So in the same way that eBay or Amazon is a platform comprised of a lot of sellers, that's exactly what Alibaba and AliExpress are as well. One thing I really wanted to clarify is a lot of people ask me, okay, so I buy my stuff from AliExpress. Who is this private labeling factory I send the items off to? So I think a lot of people are under the impression you go buy your items and then you send them off to this private labeling factory where they stamp your brand on them. That's not how it works. It's actually when you order from Alibaba and you order a large enough quantity to make it worth their while to customize the products for you, you're going to be able to tell them, I want my brand printed on these. Typically, it's going to require a larger order. So whereas you can go to AliExpress and buy a single Cree flashlight, if you're going to go to Alibaba and buy Cree flashlights and you want your name printed on them, they may say you have to buy 50 or you have to buy 100 or you have to buy 500. So typically you're going to need a little bit of deeper pockets to start private labeling, and that's why in a lot of past videos I had suggested, look, if you want to sell flashlights, go buy 20 flashlights from AliExpress, sell them on eBay, sell them on Amazon, sell them on Shopify, and once you're confident that they're going to sell, and or once you've built up your bankroll to where you can afford to buy some more, then you go over to Alibaba, you say to the seller, hey, my flashlight's going to be liquid fire flashlight. Here's my logo that I had made on Fiverr that I designed myself on Canva. Could you put my logo on there? And also, could you make the button on my flashlight hot pink? And they'll do that for me because the items aren't made yet, and that's why I can customize them. They aren't going to start making them until I've actually paid them. I actually have another video in which I go into great depth on the difference between AliExpress and Alibaba, what the differences are and which one is right for you. If I can drop one of those cards, I'll drop a card at the top of the screen here to where if you want to watch that video, you can click it. It's about an hour long, but I go very in depth on the differences between AliExpress and Alibaba. One last thing I want to touch on, I'm going to try to keep this video kind of short today. One last thing I want to touch on, there is kind of a shortcut or a hack to private labeling. And I realize that some of you guys out there are like, look, you know, this Alibaba seller wants me to buy 1,000 items and I just can't afford to buy that 1,000 items. Or you might be saying, you know, this Alibaba seller wants me to buy 1,000 items and I'm just not confident shelling out that much money. I've never sold this product. I don't know how well it's going to sell. So if you want to kind of start building a brand without actually going through the official step of private labeling, there is kind of a shortcut to that. And here's what the shortcut would be. Now, I'm going to make a video going into more depth about this. I'll be posting either Tuesday or Wednesday of this week, so just in a couple days here. But basically, you could go to a site like Packable. This is just one example, but you could select like the box size you want. You could then go down. You could choose a color for the box. We could choose a specific color for our box. We can put an image on our box. We can come up with a name. And okay, some of these are actually going to let you preview. It doesn't look like this one's going to be preview. Give me 1 second. I'll find you guys a better example. Okay, so I think Pack Lane is going to be a better example. So we'll say we want to do like a pizza box style. We want our box to be, we'll say white. How many do we want to order? 10, 25, 50. So you can order these in smaller quantities. Say you're buying Cree flashlights from AliExpress, and let's say you're going to order 25 on your first run. So you can order 25 boxes. Now the cost of boxes, if you're ordering smaller amounts, is going to be pretty considerable too. I mean, this may cost you more than the flashlight, but you get the point. So then we're going to add our artwork. Okay, so you can see there we've added our artwork to the bottom of the box there. Let's see, what else can we do? Top. If we wanted to, we could add text. Okay, and you guys get the point. We got a Rules for Rebel thing on the side. We got Rules for Rebels with the tagline, Be a Rebel. So you can design custom packaging. Now, obviously, you know, if you order 2,000 pieces, it goes down to 87 cents. This is kind of a, probably not the cheapest place to get your packaging made, but I just wanted to give you guys a quick example. So again, what you could do is go to AliExpress, buy 25 items, come here, buy 25 boxes. And while your item won't actually have the brand name printed on it like these, you will have a generic product, but you can put it in custom packaging. And this is a way where you can kind of start building a brand and building some brand recognition prior to placing that large order with Alibaba for 1,000 free flashlights. So this is a good way to kind of dip your toe into a new market. So I'm going to cut this video short. I didn't want to make this too long, but the short answer to whether you can private label AliExpress products is no. Like I said, I mean, you may be able to reach out to a seller and find a seller who just happens to be a manufacturer selling direct to consumer, but for the most part, you're not going to be able to private label there. Your workarounds are going to be either going to DHgate, because DHgate oftentimes will let you private label 10, 20, 50 pieces. The selection of products you can do that on is much more limited, but it may be worth giving that a try. The other thing you can do is come over to a site like Pack Lane and get custom packaging made. This isn't truly private labeling. You won't truly be able to protect your Amazon listing with this like you would actually printing your name or your brand on the item. But I do feel like this allows you to kind of start building a brand and gives you some level of protection. So I know a lot of you guys who watch my videos have probably knew this already or have heard this message before. This video is kind of specifically devoted to anybody out there who's wondering or searching for, can I private label AliExpress products? So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Hopefully you guys learned something. If so, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. And we'll catch you guys on the next video. Also, I am going to link in the description box below to where you can buy the AliExpress watch the AliExpress versus Alibaba, which platform is right for you video. And in a couple days, I'll be posting kind of a more thorough video of showing you guys how to create a brand and put it on the boxes. Thanks again for watching, guys, and I'll catch you later.